Password accepted. You may now enter the bunker.
And we're live. Welcome everybody to Enter the Bunker. We are doing fun challenges to
empower you, the people.
Yes, to survive and thrive in today's world. So today, it is Friday.
It is Friday.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic week and we're coming up on the weekend. So we're gonna do some awesome stuff to share with you guys. We were just on TikTok. If you're coming from TikTok, you should have gone to our last TikTok post and posted a comment there, because if you did, what's gonna happen is we're gonna take those comments, we're gonna bring them over here to the chat. Oh, starting. It's Friday. Yeah. Okay, so producers are messing with us today. Man.
They didn't even give us any warning.
Yeah, so if you posted your question, in the comments in our last TikTok, we're bringing it over here, and we're going to be giving away Amazon gift cards for the best question asked, and we're going to be doing it here live on the video stream, so you'll get to be in the stream. What better way to get into Enter the Bunker? So that'll be part of today's show, and we've got other stuff going on today that's going to help you to survive and thrive in today's world. And what will it be? AMA?
Ask me anything.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be dangerous. I'm nervous.
I can tell. All right.
Okay. We've got other stuff going on today.
Oh, sorry.
Better be.
I'm doing a couple jobs here at once. I'm overwhelmed. I did have something to say. Oh, we have a new subscriber that we should.
Oh.
Steve B.
Stevie B.
Steve? Are you the... I said he was new too. I knew it. I knew you were new. I knew you knew. Where's the blue one?
Steve Rishibil.
I don't have a blue marker, and I really wanted a blue one.
That's okay. Welcome everybody. You want to hear a joke?
Not subscribing or following Enter the Bunker on all socials. What?
That's not funny.
That's not a joke.
No, he's meaning like somebody watching but not following us everywhere else like he does.
Oh. Good one.
Steve B. Hello. Welcome to Enter the Bunker.
So
we're going to go through questions from TikTok because there's a bunch of them, but the YouTube, you can put questions in the chat and we'll go over those after.
Excellent. So, wait, we're going with the ones on YouTube first?
No, TikTok first.
TikTok first.
You want me to go on there? Or are you going to
No,
read?
I've got them here.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So, we're going to be getting into some questions.
We're drinking almost the same color drink today.
Yeah, it's purple weird stuff. Yes. Derived from the alien in the bunker.
Freshly squeezed.
It gives us our superpowers. Okay. What shall we do today about AMAs?
Van the Man. Where do you buy a bunker and how much is upkeep on it? Well, you buy a bunker in DeBert.
There's one place.
One place to buy a bunker. Or you can build one.
Yeah, so I know that in Europe, it's pretty easy to find a lot bunkers in Europe.
Yes.
Because...
And where else? The Netherlands? They were saying that literally every family has a bunker to go to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you're looking for a bunker, it's easier to find them in Europe because they're everywhere. But in North America, it's really hard to find. I mean, you can buy a bunker. There are bunker builders that are out there, which you can have to build like a modern bunker and so forth. This particular bunker, though, is a Cold War bunker that was built in the 1960s because of the Cold War, right? So it was meant for nuclear attack. It's designed for both chemical and biological attack as well. So zombie apocalypse, we're covered. So what you do to buy a bunker, this one, because it's an ex-military, ex-government, what happens is that in that case, and what they'll do is they'll usually work with the local counties to transfer the asset over to a local county, and then the local county tries to then goes and sells it privately. In the States, for example, I know that there's silos, like old missile silos and things like that, that are up for grabs. And some people have tried to turn those into living quarters and things like that. But they were designed for missiles. They weren't designed for people. Right. So I'm not too excited about those types of facilities. This facility was designed for 350 people to survive in the event of fallout. So how much is upkeep? It's expensive.
That's all it needs to be said.
It's 64,000 square feet. 64,000 square feet of any building is going to be expensive, but this one is particularly expensive because, I mean, you're dealing with a nuclear bunker that's got
built in the 60s.
1960s technology, right? So we've got all kinds of things that happen. Pipes.
And we try to keep like the old stuff running.
We're keeping the old stuff running so that we're keeping some of the history.
Yes.
But then there's also some of the systems that are in here that are really, you have to have the old systems in order to be able to survive a nuclear blast, because there's what's called an EMP pulse that comes off of a nuclear blast. And when that happens, it knocks out all electronics. So if you're using modern systems, a lot of those modern systems would just be dead. Whereas the systems in this place, good to go. So yeah, I think I answered that question pretty good.
Van the Man.
Yeah, Van the Man, thank you for your question.
So what I'll do is maybe go back and forth because there's some YouTube questions coming in on YouTube. Steve B, our newest subscriber,
Yes.
wanted to know how deep the bunker was.
40 feet.
Well, that's
40
what we
feet.
officially say.
That is the answer.
Well, yes. We don't talk about the other levels.
Right.
Official answer that we will give you is 40. Whether there is additional levels that go deeper or not, I am not at liberty to confirm or deny.
None of us are.
None of us are. Next question. Let's move on.
App sucks. Yeah.
This app sucks.
How could you maintain a closed ecosystem within the bunker for unlimited food supply?
Whew. You know what? We don't know.
We're gonna try out though.
We are.
Yeah.
We are actually looking to
Yeah.
try that out. We want to create a system so that we can continue to have replenished food supply like that. This bunker wasn't designed for that. It was designed so that it would have MREs, which meals ready to eat.
Lots of storage in here.
Lots of storage for all that stuff, and they always kept this place stocked with MREs so that in the event of, they would have tons of food so that they could be able to last up to 6 months. So here's the fun fact. You don't need to have unlimited food supply. In a world-ending event, a world-end event would only last 90 days. Like all the smart people who basically have done analysis of like in the event of a chemical this or an event of a biological that or an event of a nuclear blast, after 90 days, that world-ending event per se has basically subsided to the point that you could actually be able to come out and start to get supplies or start to fight for your life or whatever, right? You know, fend off the marauders that are coming to get you. So this place was really designed so that we had enough food to be able to last for anywhere from 3 to 6 months. Anything beyond that is really unnecessary.
Yeah.
But I think that it's worthwhile to find a way to do that.
Right, why not?
I think we should do that. And that's something we're going to be doing in the future. And as we learn these things, as we go through building these systems here in the bunker, we're going to share that with you on this channel. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Because we'll be sharing that with you as we go through that.
Yeah, it'll be a good story for sure.
Yeah.
So on YouTube, I Like GTA wanted to know, do you live there?
Feels like it sometimes.
It's a very common question on TikTok as well.
It is. Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
We did stay overnight recently.
Yeah.
Yes. There was a challenge that we had to survive, not in the bunker, but outside the bunker. And if you go back to our YouTube, you'll see what happened to Kelly and what happened to me. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. But we could certainly be able to live here if we wanted to, but we don't. We all have families. We all have homes to go to. But this place could allow us to live here. Technically, though, the county and the current local laws don't want that to happen.
Because there's no windows.
Because we don't have windows. There's these like little bylaws about how there has to be windows in the event of something happening, I guess. Even though this place is built like a mega fortress, you know, what's going to happen? But because of these circumstances, the county simply doesn't want us to be able to have overnight people to stay overnight. There is, however, military barracks, which are just right across the way from the bunker.
Yeah.
When this whole place was a military base
They're
at one
really
time.
cool in there.
And yeah, there was military barracks, and now it's a hospitality center. But the military barracks are a part of the history, but it was built in the 1970s. And you could stay overnight there and then come here to the bunker. I think that's a great idea.
I think we should plan for something like that in the future.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right.
All right.
Mocha 086. What was the recording studio for?
Oh, do you want to answer that or should I? Come on,
It was for CBC and the detail.
the detail.
Yeah, you might as well get into detail about it.
Okay. So every nuclear bunker needs to have a means of communication, right? So every one of these bunkers that were built across the country had CBC radio built into it. So CBC radio was the one thing that was operational within the bunker while not being used. CBC broadcasted from this bunker as well as the few others that were across the country. So CBC radio had various guests come here. So we had some famous people over the years come to the bunker and broadcast with CBC radio. Fun fact, people who worked here, while they were in the bunker, they were not able to get any kind of, no, actually just recently even, when I first got this bunker, when we had a radio here in the bunker, we were unable to be able to tune into any radio station except CBC.
Really?
And I don't know what caused it. I still don't know what caused it.
It must be like a blocker or something.
Yeah, it must be something that just tunes into their frequency or something that's in here.
Weird.
But yeah, we could only get CBC while we're in the bunker.
Huh.
So it used to be CBC broadcast, and when this place got decommissioned, they bugged out. But then we took the recording studio and we turned it into a recording studio for independent artists for a brief time. Wasn't a whole lot of demand, so we stopped that, and then we started to do YouTube, and that was fun, but that was also very small. It's a very small studio. It was only meant for one radio announcer to sit there, and then a technical crew. So it was really
Crammy.
We're very crammed in there. So
although another fun fact, going back to the question before that about the growing, having like a sustainable thing, the CBC staff room is the room that we were thinking about doing that in.
This is true. Yeah, there's a CBC staff room, and the CBC staff room is I think quite ideal for doing some kind of growing operation there. It was pretty big.
Yeah, it is.
It's a pretty big space, and I think it's ideally located. So
yeah.
And the recording studio is now where some of the music you hear on this channel, like the intro song and stuff, was made in the studio. So it gets repurposed now as an actual recording studio from time to time.
Oh, there you go.
And actually, our producer Bailey, she does her voiceovers for the TikToks in there as well.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah,
because it's a soundproof room.
It's got all. I mean, this is a 1960s built soundproof
so at
room.
its
So
time,
it's got,
it was the quietest recording studio in all of Atlantic Canada.
Yeah, it's got all the. It's not like the recording studios today that use cheap materials. This is like military paid for, top materials. Like it's really decked out as a really good sound studio. So in the time that we had independent artists recording here, they said that it was the sound that they could get when they recorded things here was so phenomenal. And it had a certain character to it that they loved with everything that they recorded here.
That's awesome.
So it was great for the time, but again, there just wasn't enough demand. So maybe in the future, but we occasionally get people asking if they could use it, but
like
I don't think they
6
realize
months.
how small it is. So
This song was created in the studio.
oh, there you go. There's another song. Do you hear it? Do you hear the bunker in it? Oh yeah.
Steve B again said, do you have something that creates air so you don't pump in
Bad air.
And what about an earthquake or a flood?
A
So,
bunch of questions.
so you're talking about air filtration.
So we have filters. If there was like anything chemical, biological radiation outside, we have filters that the air would filtrate through so the bad air doesn't come in.
But here's a pro tip if you're going to be building your own bunker. The reason why the most of our air that we have coming into the bunker is good is because if you've ever seen pictures of our bunker, you might have noticed a giant black stack that's sticking out of the side of it. Mm-hmm. That giant black stack is actually our air intake. And the air is coming from the top of that stack. And the reason you want that is because when there's a fallout event, what happens is that all the radiation goes into the atmosphere and then it literally falls out of the sky. That's why it's called fallout. And it settles on the ground. And then when that happens, all the air that's above, any air that's at least 5 feet above the ground is nice and clear of all that radiation that's now settled on the ground. So our stack is way more than 5 feet. It's like, 15, 20 feet or something in the air. Our stack so high up in the atmosphere, any fallout event, it would only be a brief time that it would actually have any kind of contaminated air coming in. Now it takes in air super fresh from way up top, and then it gets fed into the air system, which also has the filtration systems built into it, so that goes through that system before it ever reaches our ventilation room, which then circulates it to the rest of the bunker. So pro tip, if you want to have breathable air in a world-ending event, make sure you're getting it from 10, 20 feet above ground level.
And he also said, and what about earthquake and flood? We'd survive.
We'd survive. Yeah.
Not a huge risk of earthquake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no. Isn't Nova Scotia built on like a giant
flood?
It's a giant rock of it's something radioactive. I'm trying to remember what it was.
I have no clue.
Wasn't it like some kind of radioactive material? Everyone complains about how it causes cancer and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, because Nova Scotia is at the top. Cancer.
It's not uranium. It's like it's something else that's radioactive. And it's like a hard rock.
Googling it.
Like it's really like it's super like
Sediment.
that's part of the reason why all of our electricity is above ground, because digging underground here for burying things is really hard.
What are you doing with that, Jake?
Oh, look at that. Uranium in Nova Scotia drinking water. Well, now you know.
It says that uranium exists naturally in soil and rock throughout the world, including Nova Scotia. So maybe that's what you're talking about.
No, I'm sure there was something about the makeup of our mantle that was a particular material. Anyways, regardless, we're good for earthquake and we're good for flooding because we are over 200 feet above sea level at this current location. Oh my gosh. Something tells me this has something to do with our...
Jeff, do you have any food rations from when they first opened the bunker? Well, Jeff.
Well.
What is this, Jeff? Feels dirty.
Well,
Doesn't have a Marvin's label on it, though.
Yeah, the Marvin's label's gone, and it is dirty. It's got all kinds of dust on it.
Yeah.
Guys, got to keep these things clean.
What the heck?
Oh, we're just spinning through comments now.
So yes, we do.
Yes, we do. And we eat them occasionally. It's pretty gross.
Yes, it is.
Steve B, his question was answered, but the square footage of the bunker.
64,000 square feet that we know of.
Officially.
Officially.
Yeah.
Not, well.
We're not at liberty to discuss potentially other square footage.
Right. True story. Maya Co, do you have an underground swimming pool?
Who has bunkers with underground swimming pools? This girl.
I do.
So, if you watched our previous episode of The Sims and
check it out.
where we built our own bunkers, she decided it would be a really good idea to build a bunker and then build an underground pool under the bunker so that you couldn't even get to, okay?
You could jump.
So it would just continue to build up bacteria and contaminate the whole area.
Yeah. It's actually would give you very good moisture.
And another problem, yeah, so you're gonna die from black mold in your bunker. Like, come
Well,
on.
there's filtration systems.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
You were just jealous that you didn't have a pool in your bunker.
So I will admit though, I think you're asking this question because I've seen pictures of bunkers that had pools in them.
That was the cool bunker.
Yeah, they got
I've
these.
seen those.
Yeah, so they got these fancy pools, and they're like, oh, it's underground and everything. But the truth is, you don't want to have something like that because it's already hard enough to maintain the right type of atmosphere when you're underground like this. Adding a pool to it is just causing even more strain on that type of system. So even if you wanted to get into lockdown, you're actually having to have your systems go into overdrive just to make up for having that pool, right? So not a good idea to have a pool built into your underground bunker. It's a bad idea. I know it looks cool for pictures and maybe for your Sims, but in real life, if you want this thing to work, don't do it. Don't do it.
All right. Ty Harvey. So I'm a massive Lost fan. If you have seen it, yes. My question, how realistic are the different bunkers in Lost to real life one that you work in?
Ooh.
Did you watch Lost?
I only saw some episodes.
I watched I think there was 13 seasons or something.
You saw it all?
No.
Oh.
It got weird and boring, I found,
Yeah?
by season 9 or 8 or 7.
I only
That's as
remember
far as
the
I made
big
it.
guy. I only remember the big guy from that being this lovable character, and I don't know,
The old man?
wanting everyone to be happy. No, he was he had a beard. He was a young guy, curly hair.
There's 6 seasons of Lost, and you're thinking of
6 seasons of Lost, that's it? God, it felt like...
Hurley.
yeah.
That I guess that's him. He looks really old now.
Yeah, he looks very old now.
But these are what the bunkers in Lost kind of looked like. They were a lot more-
Yeah. Underground pools. No. Shouldn't be doing that.
We don't have windows to see out into the...
There's no windows in an underground bunker. No, there isn't. Yeah, that's not going to
So-
survive a blast.
Not that similar, I would say.
No.
And they crawl down in a hole, too, so...
So the whole thing, most people have that idea of going down this
In a hole.
chute in a hole. We do actually have that. We have it right over there.
Yeah.
It's one of the emergency exits technically. It's considered now today a service entrance, but it's there's a loop-de-loop staircase
Yeah.
that goes all the way down to the lower level. Originally, it was designed to be one of the emergency exits. By today's fire code standards, they're just yeah, no. So, but that is actually it. But up top, instead of being this hole underground, it goes all the way up to a platform, and then you just open a door, which is a giant steel encased in concrete door that just opens up, and you can just walk right out. So it's a little more fancier than a
hole in the ground.
hole in the ground. I guess they could have done that too, but
Yeah.
I
wonder-
say the ones on Lost too. They were very open, and while our bunker has some very big rooms, we have there's 100 rooms. I don't know how many individual rooms there are.
Together, the walls got knocked down, so give or take 120 rooms.
It's
A
it's
lot.
very sectioned off compared to the ones that were on Lost.
Yeah,
which is
Yeah.
kinda
it's
a
very...
big open.
yeah, because we have because all the
It's very
areas in the
roomy.
bunker had specific purposes that were designed. There's one part of the bunker that was designed for NORAD to be operational from here. There's another part that was the gateway for all Department of Defense communications.
There was a CBC room, the CBC staff room.
CBC staff room. There was military
45
personnel.
sleeping rooms.
There was a section for RCMP, the Mountie Police. There was a whole section for them. So we had all these different rooms within the bunker that all had a purpose to be able to continue the Canadian government way of life as they knew it in the event of.
Life
So,
as you know it.
Yeah. So it was,
Consider a normal house is 1,200 to 1,500 feet, and this is 64,000
yeah.
square
1,200 to 1,500, 64,000. Huge.
So it's hundreds of homes.
Hundreds.
Hold on, I didn't find another question. There's one. That one was good.
Is it hard to keep the bunker?
Maintenance, maintaining it.
This is a question for our maintenance staff, I think.
Depends on the day and depends who was here.
But the fact that you even have a maintenance staff kind of speaks to the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, for years, I was all by myself taking care of this place and having to deal with all of its things. But this place during its entire operations always had a maintenance staff to maintain it. So it is hard to maintain it. It's hard to keep it, simply because, not only because we have the older systems that we talked about earlier, but it's the fact that it's a 64,000 square foot facility. It's going to have maintenance. It's going to have continuous things that are going to need fixing or something like that.
Yeah,
so,
forever.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna scroll through. We'll do it live.
Our bunker has more bathrooms than Walmart. Keep that in mind.
We have more bathrooms than Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah. You should see the boys' bathroom. It's ridiculous. It's huge. Do you have any cool facts about the history of the bunker?
Define cool.
Yeah. Coolio. Bailey? Cool facts?
I think it's pretty cool how, one of my favorite things on tours was when people would come in that used to work here and they wouldn't know anywheres in the bunker. Like, for example, there was one time I was doing a tour for a man and he said he worked in the Samson node, which is now our data security node. But when I went through and did the tour with him, he knew exactly where the node was in the building, but I did the whole downstairs level, and I told him, like, I can't take you in there. Like, I'm not allowed to. It's off limits for me even here. And we went to go back upstairs, and he was like, wait, you didn't take me to the hallway to get to the Samson node. And I said, well, yeah, I did. It was the hallway where the recording studio is down. And he was like, no, that's not how I got into it. So they made him go right down the stairs. And then the door that is just to the left of the engine room, he went through that hallway, cut in through those AMC rooms that are down there, cut through the other hallway down what we call the destroyed section, cut across into where all the communication stuff was for CDC, and he went all through there into that back hallway to get to the Samson node.
Wow.
So people that had been here, or people that worked here, they only knew one hallway, right
One
to
path.
the place and right back.
Yeah.
And they were led along the way the first couple of shifts here, I guess, just to make sure they didn't stray off the beaten paths.
Yeah.
I always thought that was cool, that people worked inside of here, but they only knew one hallway.
They only knew one hallway, one way to go,
Yeah.
one room. They
Everybody-
didn't even know what the insides of other rooms looked like.
Yeah, so even throughout the history of this place, there was very, very few people who actually knew the layout of this bunker.
Right.
And how it even looked.
They would switch out the workers when it was being built. They would switch out the workers every 2 weeks because it was top secret. They didn't want anybody knowing anything.
Yeah, they didn't want to know what this place actually, how it was made out, because they were afraid that that information might get into the wrong hands. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. Basically, people who worked here didn't even know what this place looked like.
And
And
they
you,
still don't talk about what they did here either. Like,
Yeah.
you get people in here for tours, and they'll say, like, oh, I worked in this section. Show me this section where I worked. And, like, you can tell if they're lying or if they're being honest, because, like, they're being very specific with spots in the bunker that you wouldn't know unless you worked here.
Yeah.
And then you try and pride them a little bit and say, like, oh, can you tell me a little bit about what you did? And they, like, no, I'm still bound by contract. They still won't tell us anything about what they did here.
yeah, everybody was under top secret contract, and everybody I know who's worked here, even to this day, they won't talk about the operations that happened here.
No,
Yep.
it's a true story.
Kind of building on what Bailey said, like the building was blueprinted out in 1950. So to walk through here, you're walking through ideas and techniques that were used in 1950, and today you really don't get to experience that at a scale like this scale. So when you're walking through the building, the way the air moves and the way the rooms are laid out, and the fact that that was intentionally designed to disorient you as you walk through it, it explains a lot of the supernatural feeling that you get when you walk through the bunker. It's if you're walking through it and you're not used to it, it's very disorienting, and it's a very weird, unique feeling to walk through here, just based on the techniques that were used to build it.
I think we've answered that question.
Um,
That's cool.
Shadow Demon TI said, how is the bunker powered if an apocalyptic event took place and above ground power was wiped out? How long can the bunker stay powered like this for?
So we have backup generators. The bunker was designed with three Merley baseload generators. So these are the types of generators that actually many African towns actually still run on for their entire power to power their entire towns. So these baseload generators are designed so that you turn them on and they just keep going. They would be able to run for as much as 3 months if we had the appropriate amount of fuel, which the place was designed with originally. We don't have that much fuel now, so we won't be able to last 3 months on the generators alone. But we do have backup generators that we run and maintain regularly so that in the event that we lose power, we run on backup generators. So there are underground backup generators, and that's how you would continue to power it.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, originally, the bunker had a 30,000 gallon tank. It was huge. But when they decommissioned the place, they decided to take down the tank. So we have a much smaller tank now. I know that when you're talking about above ground power, you're probably thinking like solar cells or something like that, right? So in the event so I have thought about introducing solar power into the bunker, but like you said, if there was something to happen, then it's just wiped out, then we just got nothing.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yep.
Cool.
Aloha.
Hello, Jake.
Got a question?
Aloha here. In the event of an evacuation to the bunker, what would be the method you would use to spread out rations, and who goes outside and whatnot?
Draw straws?
Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors.
All the producers'
Rock,
ears
paper,
just
scissors.
perked up.
What?
All the producers' ears just perked up. Wait. I need the answer to this too.
What
Well, I
would
guess the larger question is, in the event of a catastrophic event, Jonathan, what would your process look like, knowing that you have half of Nova Scotia banging down your door?
How much Bitcoin do you have?
It all comes back to
Do you have 10 Bitcoin? Because that's what it'll take to open the door.
Unless your name's Kelly.
Send to this address here. No. So yeah, I'm honestly, I'd imagine that I would have a hard time denying people, just knowing the way I am.
Yeah.
I'd probably just bend and yeah, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Probably.
There would have to become a point, though, that you'd have to be like, no more.
Yeah. We'd probably get to a point where we just leave the doors closed and just let
Lock
them
'em
keep
up.
block it up, and nobody's coming in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I haven't actually given that a whole lot of detailed thought, other than the fact that for 10 Bitcoin you could have space in here. In which case, yes, you would be let in with no questions asked.
Right.
But if you're just these random people saying "let me in," I'd have to think twice.
Family and friends would definitely come first, I feel like.
Yeah.
You need somebody to run the board, right?
We need someone to run the board.
And to add to that, maybe Jonathan, at least we don't know of, but in terms of preparedness, we don't have or maybe we do that we don't know of, and maybe you don't want to talk about it, but we don't have a super extensive food supply publicly available in the bunker. We'd have to do some preparedness for that if it was going to be a months-long event.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is part of why in the future we're planning to look at ways that we could continue to grow food. Right. So we will be exploring that as we go into the winter, and finding ways that you could continue to grow food, so that if we do end up having to let people in an event, then we'll be better prepared. Instead of eating these.
I mean, we have lots of these, but
Yeah.
if you want to get sick.
Yeah, you might be like, I'll take my chances outside, thank you.
I probably would. Mr. Moist Palms. What a name. Can people stay a night, day there? Also, how did you buy a bunker?
Can people stay a night and day
You can
here?
spend the day here.
You can spend the day
you can
here.
spend the night over at the barracks at DHC,
Yes.
Bird Hospitality Center.
Yes.
And what was the last one? How did you buy a bunker?
Just how you bought the bunker, which I think we might have answered earlier.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, so the bunker was up for tax auction, as a matter of fact, and I was successful in the auction. And then that's it. The rest is history. So
How do you know how much damage the bunker can take as in being bombed?
based on the technical specs that were provided by the blueprints, they estimated how much of a kiloton blast it would be able to withstand So it was all engineered basically. So that's how we know.
Can you switch back to you? There was another question on you. What will you do? Okay, so this kind of goes back to what we were just talking about. What will you do if you run out of food, and how does that work? So that's still something that's kind of being...
What would we do if we ran out of food? And how does it work?
Eat each other.
In the event of like a catastrophic event, we're all stuck in here. That's kind of something, goes back to working on like a self-sustaining ecosystem, I guess.
Well, we have a freezer that's a morgue, so
Yes, we can freeze dry some people here and
Cannibals.
serve them up, cannibal style.
let's not. I don't. Well, when we get our garden growing, we won't have to worry about that because
Yes.
that's the answer.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to go back, just give me a second here, to one of our popular TikToks that had a bunch of questions that we never actually answered. There it is. No.
What's the can on the table? This is a can of rations. They're called biscuits from Marvin's in Moncton. They're not good, Jeff. Whoever has the least amount of Bitcoin gets eaten first.
That's true.
Gotta find out what's in that secret room, though.
So that's in the one of the first bunker TikToks that was made. There was a room showed, and
Oh, dear.
Bailey stepped on a platform and it opened the door, and the TikTok cut off. And no, we've never actually showed what that room is. Jonathan, I don't know if you want to give them a hint or if you just want to skip that altogether.
So that room is actually off limits. There's only one person who works here that's authorized to go in there besides myself.
So Jonathan, can you confirm that I did not go in the room so that people will stop attacking me in the comments saying that I went in anyway?
Yeah, no, she wouldn't have been able to go
She'd
in the
be
room.
fired.
Yeah, that room is completely off limits.
So here is, maybe, wait, hold on. There we go. So this question is poor grammar, but why are you allowed in there if it's decommissioned?
Why aren't you allowed?
No.
So this was a
it's
question
poor
to Bailey, who posted that TikTok. But Jonathan, the answer is that you have employees that work inside of your bunker.
Right. So there's only one person that's able to go there. We have rules here too. So
Follow the rules.
yes, if you want to stay here.
Yeah. Oh,
Another.
okay. As an engineer. Oh.
There we go. That's another one of the comments berating Bailey for not being able to go in the room.
If it's
So yeah, maybe some interest in the generator room. Maybe yeah.
do we have a new sub on YouTube?
I didn't see one. No.
Somebody says that we do.
Oh, there we go.
Does it have Wi-Fi?
Does it have Wi-Fi?
Does it?
Does it?
Does it?
Does it have Wi-Fi?
Does it?
That's my Scottish accent. Does
Does it have Wi-Fi?
Try it. What was that? Scottish, Australian, or Irish?
Who, me?
Like, do you think? Like, what do you
Or
think
you.
that sounded like?
Me? Or
No,
you?
mine.
Do it again.
Chat.
Do it again.
Does it have Wi-Fi?
You sound like
What's
the
that?
guy from The Simpsons, the Irish guy from The Simpsons.
Oh, so I nailed it. Irish. Okay.
Nailed it.
Cool.
All right. Yes.
He's not
it
Irish,
does
though.
have
He's
Wi-Fi.
Scottish.
Right, so you're Scottish then. And
I remembered who you're talking about. I was like,
we
wait a
do
minute.
have
That's the guy who
Wi-Fi.
runs around with a kilt. That's Scottish.
Yeah,
That's not
yeah,
Irish.
him.
So this is an interesting kind
Hold
of
up, hold up,
query.
rewind.
We so this person is basically just telling she had a dream.
She's not the first person who said
That's
that.
what I was gonna say. We get a lot of people that mention that they've had dreams that look
Yeah.
exactly like the bunker
kitchen.
that comes up in the TikTok.
Yeah. I've read that a few times.
Jonathan, any explanation as why you are infiltrating people's dreams?
It's the alien.
So if you can think a little outside the box, not to freak you out that we're talking about a morgue here, it's possible that I mean, if we want to talk about possibilities, maybe there's a trapped spirit in this location that's reaching out to people in their dreams, or something along those lines. That's all I can theorize. What do you think? Kelly's freaking out now. Like,
Yeah.
that's all I can imagine. Might be the situation here.
If I can add some realism to the discussion, as the skeptic in the room, I think the 1960s kind of feel and vibe of the building probably is very similar to a lot of people's elementary schools or
Boats.
or buildings from their childhood, which maybe they are being sent back to in their subconscious. Because a lot of the tiling and the working is very 1960s, which would be very akin to your school as a child. Even this, me and probably not
Like a
Jake and
jail
Bailey,
cell.
but the schools me and Kelly would have went to share some similarities with this building as well.
My school was so old it got torn down. I didn't go to a new school.
So,
Easy Tiger.
Oh, it's calling Tiger who now?
I mean, you get what I'm saying though. Like it's very akin to some other buildings that might explain.
Yeah, I know. I see what you're saying.
Or it could be a trapped spirit calling out for help.
Yeah, it could be
You
a traffic.
decide.
Yeah, I mean,
Or it could be the alien in the basement planting crazy thoughts in people's heads.
Transmitting thoughts into your brain.
Freaking me out now.
Who's cleaning this place and keeping it in such a good shape? Ooh.
Our producers, -1.
Our producers / maintenance people.
Yeah.
/ social media experts.
Yeah. So
Laser tag captain.
honorable
Tour guide.
honorable mention has to go to Ron and Justin and Jake and
Bailey.
All 4 of these people currently have been taking care of the place. But prior to the pandemic, we had a lot more people that were taking care of the place. Unfortunately, now we can't have them. But we are, they're the ones that are taking care of the place now.
Yes.
we had a new subscriber. You were right, but it's privacy. Oh no, he came through. So it's Adrian. And
Adrian.
Spell that.
Adrian. Tips and Tricks with Adrian is his full name, but we'll just put Adrian.
Oh.
Do you have any pets? Probably referring to the bunker specifically.
Yes,
You
we have a
do.
groundhog, or 3, or 4. And
Whole
we have
family.
lots of mice outside, living under the
Outside.
deck.
Yes.
I've never seen a bug in here, besides the crickets that in the doorway. Other than that, I've never seen a bug in the bunker.
That's right. Nothing survives
It
in here.
really blows my mind because we're so far underground that I thought they'd like crawl through some sort of crack or something. Like, it's crazy. They
We're
do not come up through
sealed
drains or
tight.
anything.
Nothing.
It's crazy. Blows my mind, actually.
Yeah. The only time we've had bugs is when we had the problem with the fruit flies.
Yes, but that was like
That
somebody
was our.
brought them in from their
That's
house.
because people leaving food around and stuff like that.
Dirty.
That's our fault. Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, there's nothing like that. So yeah, we have Bunky the groundhog. He is our mascot. You might have seen him in the beginning of our stream.
Yeah,
He's pretty badass.
he is.
Yes.
Have you ever seen a real ghost of So Stories?
If so, tell the story.
I've encountered the ghost so many times.
You saw him earlier today in the kitchen.
That I did. He did. He messed with me in the kitchen earlier today.
I heard it.
I got stories on stories about ghosts.
What's not?
So if you go to our TikTok, you might actually be able to see a video where we captured something in our earlier videos, some activity. We've had the Colchester Paranormal Society come here twice.
And
Both times they captured so much stuff. It was unbelievable. The first time they came, they just were like, well, let's see if there's any activity. They came back, they're like, there's activity. And then the second time they came back, they actually were doing, the first time there was so much activity that the second time they came back here, they brought ghost hunters with them. Like basically they bought people who wanted to experience going on a ghost hunt. And so they all came to the bunker, all these amateurs, to see what it was like. And people everywhere were just like freaking out of like all the stuff that they were capturing.
we also had Eastlink, what's it called?
Ghost.
Haunted.
Haunted, yes.
Haunted by
Haunted
Eastlink
was
in here
here.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, before they even got started, they were freaking out. Remember that? Mm-hmm. They were just like,
I was here with them overnight.
oh, it was overnight.
And they shut off all the lights everywhere.
Yeah.
Scary.
I'll also add that this building was built in 1960, and the way the air moves around the building is very disorienting. But a data security node who has as much access to this bunker as anybody here, says 95% sure I have seen ghosts on the bottom floor, which is the creepiest part of the bunker, if you ask me, a few times. So that's a good
Yeah,
indicator.
so when you're in here by yourself at 4:30, because everyone just goes home, and then you close up the bunker and you're down there and it's so dark. This is probably why Bailey's had some of her experiences as well. But yeah, I think that I just put my eyes on where I'm going and like run, walk, I don't know, close my eyes. I don't even want to see. I don't want to see, feel, just let me do my thing and get out of here.
So probably the most common stories that I hear is a few people have already told me about how they hear conversations in the distance when nobody's here, right? Like many times I've had this, like people thought there was like people, sometimes there's crew here and we're working inside and we're working outside. And so then one guy is in the bunker by himself and he hears a conversation in the distance and he'll like shout like, oh, hey buddy, are you there? And they don't respond to him. And then then the guy he's calling out for comes in from outside. And he's just like,
What?
I thought you were dead. He's like, no, I was just outside doing like mowing the lawn. And he's like, oh my gosh. Right? So that's happened a few times to a number of people. Similar kind of situation. I know that. So there's some stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like talking about it really.
She doesn't like it. She doesn't like it.
Well, you guys don't have to hang out in here by yourselves, so.
You should have seen how this place was when I first got it. Like there was like, it was total darkness all the time. There wasn't any electricity. There was all kinds of issues I had with like leaks and water and things like that. And I'd be here all by myself with nothing but a flashlight, just going through the place and trying to take care of things. And there's so many times when there was like huge, like loud bangs and
That's what
all
I hear
kinds of
often.
things that would happen here. And I'd be all by myself. So
I
yeah.
wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Half the time I'm like, Bailey, if I'm already freaked out, like later today, if I have to go downstairs, Bailey's definitely coming with me.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about it now.
I'll add that I often I work alone most of the time, so I'm often working in my little corners of the bunkers where nobody can find me, and a consequence of that is I oft get locked in the bunker at the end of the day. It happens quite often. And I will say, I am the skeptic of all skeptics. I have never experienced the ghosts in here. I don't think they exist, but getting locked in the bunker, it's the scariest feeling in the world. Like, I hate it.
Were you here yesterday?
No.
Okay.
But that's the thing. Like, people don't know if I'm here or not, so I'll get locked in. And it's such panic. It's such anxiety. It is a very strange feeling to be in here alone.
It is. It really is. Like, well, yeah, it's so big, and you're just this little person
Yeah.
in here. And
What
we turn the lights off.
What
too,
else is
so.
in here?
You know what's even scarier? When you think that you're in the bunker alone,
And then you're not.
someone shows up, like John will show up out of nowhere, and you're just like mopping the floor, and it's like, ah, I didn't know you were coming.
We do have a new sub, Will.
Will?
Welcome, Will.
Wheel?
We will add you to the board.
Just Will?
So this is an interesting question. If extensive damage was caused to part of the bunker, is the bunker able to completely lock down sections and keep other sections safe?
Yes. So the bunker was actually designed very similar to how you would consider a submarine, right? So when they designed it, what happens is that when you have such a huge amount of space, if there's a fire, you don't want a situation where a fire breaks out somewhere and the whole place is just, you can't have that. So they designed it like a submarine so that in the event that there is a fire, they can completely lock down a section and it would just be contained entirely in there. And so because of that, that actually helped us out when we had to update our fire code and everything else, because they consider each section to be like a separate building because it's
Right.
completely enclosed in each of these sections. So yeah, there's
Huge fire doors.
yeah, massive fire doors, and the whole systems were designed so that in the event of, they would shut themselves and lock down that section, and then no problem with the fire.
Right.
Yeah,
Put itself out.
it's like a submarine. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the viewership to dwindle so we can end the stream, but people seem to be very interested in this. So we'll answer a couple more questions.
I'm gonna have a donut.
Yeah, hammer down. We'll
not
do 3 more questions.
Can
So
we
if you
go?
have a question, ask it now, either on TikTok or on YouTube. This is an interesting question.
My new cat that was homeless. Do you have to pay bills?
Yeah.
Nah, we live for free. Pretty much.
There's always bills to pay. Always.
Employees work for free.
Yeah, I work for free. Bailey works for free.
Everybody heard it. They all work for free now.
I didn't say that.
I take it back. See ya. It is Friday afternoon.
And John, maybe don't give an exact number, but an idea of what you pay in power is, well, considering that this is the size of like 60 hoses, maybe people can work it out in their head. But
So just take your house and times by 60.
it's very expensive.
That's what we're dealing with here.
How many people have been in the outside, so the bunker next door? How many bunker have been? So we have 2 bunkers. How many people have been in the other bunker that we don't show on TikTok? Total.
Man, have you guys been there?
I haven't.
I'd say it's probably been like 1, 2, 3.
Wow, so only me and Kelly here have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're having a staff trip to the other bunker.
So we've
You
had.
want me to take you guys over?
So we have another bunker that is next to this one. It is an above ground bunker, massive walls. It was built in the 80s, and it was where NATO operated from for a number of decades. So that bunker is a little different than this one. It's not as in good shape as this one is, and it's really quite scary what's happened to it over the years. There's some interesting events that look like have taken place there.
Vandalism.
You can tell from the vandalism and from the graphics on the walls, per se, the graffiti. There might have been some certain ceremonies taking place there. So, yeah, we don't go there. But we may, in the future, for our subscribers, take you there. Kelly has seen it. I spent quite a bit of time there myself. Yeah, we've done our best to try to fix it up, but it's still quite gnarly. So
It's got a long ways to go.
it's got a long way to go.
We had a new sub, Jake.
We already had him though.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, he changed his privacy settings. I get it. So hi, Jake. Jewel asked a good question. So the title of the video that they're watching on YouTube is "The Secret About This Government Nuclear Bunker," and you guys kind of touched on it earlier. But what I was specifically referring to is, if you walk around the area, there are many latches and different hatches around Debert that we don't necessarily know why they're there, and we don't necessarily know if we can access the entire bunker. So I wanted Jonathan to talk about that a little more, like the hatches that are in the woods behind and all over Debert.
So yeah, I've heard about these hatches before, like people finding these hatches that are supposedly tunnels that lead to the bunker.
Yes.
And also people coming in and saying that they know that there's other bunker floors here. So maybe those tunnels go to those other bunker floors.
They may.
Is this the secret?
Seems like maybe it'll stay a secret.
Yeah, I guess we're getting nowheres, folks. I tried.
I will neither confirm nor deny the existence of the tunnels.
But
So I can't help it. Over the years, I've met so many people who have this information.
Right. How can
And-
so many people have it wrong?
Yeah, and
They
these
don't.
tunnels that are all over Debert all come towards here,
Yeah, you can't tell me they're going to fly in the guy from the Premier
Premier.
and just land him on the airport pad and just be like, okay, now walk over to the bunker. Like, they're not going to do that. They're going to be like, now crawl into this tunnel and get to the bunker that way. They're not going to be like, oh, we just protected you so much to get you here. Now we want you to walk on foot to the bunker. They're not
So
going to do it.
it's not even like crawl into a tunnel. These tunnels are actually like they used
Walking.
to actually drive things through these things.
Was that what the transportation room's downstairs for? Because there is a room that says transportation on the door.
It was well, transportation used to be in a section where the Samson node is now located, and it was a massive space, massive.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, and now that's been back in the
I always
80s.
wondered why it was called the transportation room.
Yeah, back in the 80s, they decommissioned it. Well, they didn't decommission it. They did some renovations and turned that section into the Samson node now. But back then, it was transportation. So they rebuilt that whole section, which potentially, I mean, I'll confirm deny, have tunnels that led out to other parts.
Definitely did.
I'll say too, and Riley just brought it up, or Data Security just brought it up in the chat. As like we both grew up in this area, and what do you do in Divert other than get lost in the woods?
As a teenager.
Kids at school, like it was monthly occurrence.
Yeah.
You'd hear rumors of people found secret little tunnels and hatches around Divert, and Riley just said, I found a hatch about 4 kilometers from the bunker in the middle of the woods, straight ladder down into a space that was tiny, barely enough room to turn around. That would happen, just exploring around Divert. You can find those all over the place. They're all shut down and they don't lead to anywhere, but they are there for some reason.
They must have used to been led to somewheres. That was good English.
Our next episode, Learn English with Kelly.
That's a skill you should have taught me.
Yeah, I'll find one more good question here. This is a good one. Maybe just to speak on, I gotta find it.
Fly
So some of the
where?
different events that we've had at the bunker over the years, including stuff that you've hosted, John, and stuff that happened in the bunker before your time. But this guy was talking about how he did his work experience in Royal Army, and we had to sleep and shower in a bunker for weeks. We've done things similar to that. Maybe speak on that a little. Or talk about different events you've hosted at the bunker, or different people that have used the bunker over the years for different things. Airsoft, paintball this weekend.
We have a paintball tournament this weekend at the bunker.
Yeah, we're doing paintball this weekend.
Yeah.
You want me to talk about all those different things?
If you want to.
Holy cow.
But
That's a lot.
the point
It's a
is
lot.
that the bunker has been used for a million different things. Some cool things that stick out in your head.
So one of the very first things we did when I first got it was we had a paintball game in the bunker.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they did.
some of the thinking behind that was the fact that this place was such a mess already.
Why not?
We figured this will be a way that we
Make a
can
buck.
get it cleaned up and we'd be able to pay for it, right? So it was quite a mess, needless to say.
We were still cleaning up paintball
But
stuff.
it is also the most epic game that every single paintballer in Atlantic, Canada always talks about.
It's true.
Always. But after that, there was the biggest, I think the next biggest event after that was Doomsday.
And then you had an airsoft. Was the airsoft after Doomsday?
Airsoft was before Doomsday, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was pretty big too.
Oh, and prior to that, we shot a film here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunker
Bunker 6. We had a, what do you call it? Premiere film? Yeah, premiere film. So a premiere film was shot here called Bunker 6, and it all takes place here in the bunker. It's basically like, the storyline is that in the 1960s, the Cold War went the wrong way, and bombs drop, and everybody runs in here, and everyone's trapped here for over 10 years. And what do you do, right? So it's a pretty cool movie. You're not going to find it. You're not going to find it online.
No.
We do sell copies of it though here at the bunker, and we'll probably offer it online.
We definitely will.
Yeah, we'll start selling it. We'll offer you the DVDs to be able to buy it if you want to see it. And so we had the film shot there. I had a cameo performance, by the way.
Top billing, really. You really stole the show.
Yeah, really. And then we had Doomsday. So Doomsday was zombie apocalypse here at the bunker. The bunker got overrun by zombies, and lots of people came to be able to experience that. And then over the years, we had airsoft a lot. And then later on, we did have a journalist come here and stay overnight to be able to record his experience of staying overnight here at the bunker. And he did a whole thing there. Oh, actually, no, he was from King's College.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was from the radio show at King's College. And he did a podcast of his experience here. Yeah, this was many years ago, so it's kind of buried in the history.
Right.
And so then, yeah, so we've had the media out here quite a bit
Yeah.
over the years.
Then we
And
opened to the public.
we opened to the public in
2018.
2018, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in 2018.
October 2018.
We finally opened to the public with various experiences that you can have here at the bunker, and that was exciting. And prior to that, I always did tours here and there and whatnot. Yeah. So
I'm sure we're missing so many things.
we had Colchester Paranormal Society come here a number of times.
Haunted Eastlink.
We had Haunted Eastlink. We've had, geez, just so
We've had
much.
different people come in to do the recording, which we also touched base on earlier.
Yep.
I want to give a shout out. I said, what do you do when you're a kid into Burt other than walk around in the woods? And our neighbor, Bruce Smith, reminded us that you can fly. The bunker is located right next to an airport, which is another kind of interesting thing.
Right next to the airport.
I think we should do one of the producers gets their pilot's license funded by Enter the Bunker, just as like a funny thing for.
I think that we should, and maybe do a show on it, and we should host it.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that, or you could pay for one of your producers to get his pilot's license, and then.
And then the producer can fly us.
Yeah, and then if things go haywire here, you've already got a pilot here, so that's good.
We just have to find the tunnel.
I want to get my pilot's license, is what
We
I'm
can
saying.
fly up and find the tunnels
Yeah, exactly. The tunnels in the sky.
in the sky.
Yeah, that's right. The sky tunnels.
Sky tunnels, portals.
That's pretty much it for questions, but I do want to. There were some very good questions in there. I'd like for you guys to kind of maybe think back on what was your favorite question, and then we'll send them a gift
I
card.
actually was thinking that this was my favorite question like a few questions ago, but I don't remember that question now.
Oh no, I was relying on you to be able to remember that.
So we did. He said, Bruce Spitz says sell a Bitcoin, and then maybe we can get pilot lessons. I'm trying to think of what we did. We talked about the paranormal things around the bunker. Jewel had asked about what the government secret that the video was titled after. We talked about ecosystems inside the bunker.
I kind of like that ecosystem one. Ecosystem question.
Can you scroll up there, Jason? See what we were talking about? Any pets? Extensive damage caused to part of the bunker with the other one's work. We didn't ask that one.
What will you do if you run out of food, and how does that work? How's the bunker?
Jonathan, does anything stick out in your mind? Was there a question asked that you don't often get asked as a man who gets asked questions about the bunker every day, all the time?
I think the question about the unlimited food that you guys mentioned,
Yeah.
right? Nobody ever asked us if we have a system for being able to generate unlimited food here.
So that was GamerTime4, whose screen name is just a devil emoji on TikTok. How could you maintain a closed ecosystem within the bunker for an unlimited food supply?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you
I
think?
like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll try to contact him on TikTok, them on TikTok, and we'll get them a gift card. If you're
Awesome.
watching, you can DM us on Instagram, but I think we can message them on TikTok. So.
Okay.
And who
They've earned a follow.
did you say they're on YouTube too?
I didn't see them on YouTube, but we'll follow them on TikTok, and they can message us.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome.
Awesome. Awesome.
So
And that's it for Friday.
thank you for joining us here on Friday.
My whole table there.
What?
My whole table just started shaking.
Take it easy. All right. So it's been fun in our little AMA here, and we survived it,
We did,
and we thrived
like always.
by giving you information that otherwise most people don't know. So
Yeah. If you didn't sit here with us today, you wouldn't have known this. I even learned a little bit today. You
Yeah?
told me a few things, yeah.
yeah, you keep chipping away, and there's more diamonds to be unearthed. So. So thank you so much, everybody. Again, for those of you who are new to us, we are here all about fun challenges to help you, the people, to survive in today's world. And today you got to learn a little bit more about how to maintain a bunker and what happens here at the bunker and what happened in history and a little bit about ghosts and all that other stuff. So it's a great way to end the weekend or end on a Friday. So you have a great weekend.
Yeah, let's not end the
Looking
weekend
forward
yet.
to everybody joining us on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday every single week. We are streaming live Monday, Wednesday, Friday every single week at 11:30 Eastern Time. And
Don't forget to subscribe,
and
ring
you
the
gotta
bell.
like this video, ring the bell, subscribe. Make sure that you get in on this so you don't miss the next one. And we're gonna be giving away Amazon. See you again. Bye.